Hey everyone, hope everybody's having an outstanding day. Today I am going to do a thing called the Tale of 2 Weeks. There's a good week, and then there's a bad week, more sad than bad. The one you're going to be watching right now, though, is the good week. A couple weeks ago, my wife and I were invited by my parents, and my parents are retired, and they travel a lot throughout the country and the world. So they had this place down in western or southwestern North Carolina, in a place called Cashiers, or the locals, it's pronounced Cashiers, but the locals call it Cashiers. It's the southern Appalachian. It's close to the Smoky Mountains. It's about an hour and a half south of Maggie Valley, Asheville area. So anyway, they invited my wife and I to go spend a couple days with them. So we said, sure, why not? So we ended up leaving late one night, and we wanted to split it up over 2 days. I mean, even though it's about a 9-hour drive, we could have easily done it, and I would have much rather rode the bike. But ended up driving with the wife because there's some outstanding roads down there, and I'll show you a little bit later in this video. But we ended up leaving, I think it was 6 o'clock at night. So we ended up getting probably to the Raleigh-Durham area. It was about 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 range after we stopped and ate. And as we got in, checked in, and we just stopped at one of those highway hotels. You know, we didn't even have any plans to, didn't have reservations. We just looked it up online, found a hotel. And you know what I'm talking about, like the Comfort Inns, Best Westerns, Hampton Inns, the stuff you always find right off the main highways. So we get in, and super friendly lady. I mean, the lady that works there was great, talked about all the things in the area, and I'm like, well, we're not just staying, we're just passing through, but great lady. So my wife went up to the room, and I had to still get some stuff out of the back of the truck. So I went back out, started getting all the luggage, and then I look around and I see these 2 guys, and they're stumbling into the hotel entrance. I mean, you knew they were on something. Either they were drunk or they were high, but something. Regardless, I was like, all right, I hope these guys get in okay and crash. And then a couple minutes later, I walk back in with the luggage, and the front desk clerk's gone. She's nowhere to be seen. So I look around for her because I needed some toothpaste, like the little because I forgot my damn toothpaste. I wait a couple minutes, and all of a sudden, I hear some noises from the back. Now, when you hear noise, use your imagination. I won't say because it's a family-friendly video, but it was noises you'd hear more like from a hotel by the hour, not for something like a Comfort Inn or Best Western. So, here's how I look at it. This girl, I don't know if she hooked up with these 2 guys and put a new meaning to room service, but I didn't think twice about it. It's like, all right, screw it. I'll just go upstairs. I'll get the damn toothpaste in the morning. So went to bed, woke up, and there's one of these places that they have those breakfasts, you can get the sausages and eggs and all that stuff. So anyway, I got up early, didn't sleep too well. So I got up at 6 a.m. My wife still crashed out. Went downstairs, decided to get some breakfast, take advantage of it. So I sit down, and I start looking at the breakfast accommodations, so to speak. They got those frozen Jimmy Dean-looking sausages that look pretty rancid. And then they got the powdered eggs. And then they've got that damn waffle maker. That waffle maker that everybody has trouble with, or at least I do in the hotels. So I'm sitting in there, getting my waffle, pouring the batter on, and I couldn't figure out how to close the damn thing. And so the lady at the inn who works, you could tell she's staring at me and like, you're a freaking idiot. And the next thing you know, the batter, I put too much on it, so it's pouring all over the counter. So as the batter's poured over the counter, she comes up, grabs me, and says, let me show you how to do it. So she ended up helping me with the waffle maker. So I got my waffle, even though there's, I felt bad because she had to clean all the stuff from my mess. And then I had my, laxative breakfast, with the sausages and the powdered eggs. And all of a sudden, as I'm eating, I look up, and the 2 boys from the night before and the girl happen to come in, stroll along, sit down, and eat for breakfast. And they were all smiling away. So obviously, my thoughts from the evening before were true. So I guess they did have a little fun. So as I ate my breakfast, I went up and wanted to wake up my wife. I guess I'm at a stop over here. I don't know if there's road traffic on a back road. There's never traffic on back roads, but I guess there is today. I go up, wake my wife up, and then we get ready. So we're ready to leave because I had to make a stop that morning. That's why we're splitting up for 2 nights anyway. And all of a sudden it hit me. Remember the laxative breakfast. And so I go in. Oh, God, what in the hell are you guys doing? I'm trying to tell a story here. All right, hold on a second, guys. I'll get back to the story in just a second as soon as I figure out where the hell I'm going. So we start packing, and obviously it hit me. So I go in, and then I look at the toilet paper. I know this is too much information. And if you've ever stayed at like certain hotels or gas stations or restaurants, there's one thing I'd wish they do, and I'd even pay an extra tax for it, a toilet paper tax. You know, like when you go into a hotel, they charge you the room tax, city tax, or whatever, and it's like a couple bucks. I'd pay $2 or $3 more a night if they had quality toilet paper. And the toilet paper was Angel Soft, so I thought it was okay. I said, this is going to be fine. I'm not going to have any issues. It wasn't Angel Soft. I call it the devil paper because my ass was on fire all day long. It was this single-ply sandpaper crap. I just don't know why these places don't invest in toilet paper more. I mean, I get it. I get why. But still, it just, oh, God, it scared the shit out of me. I was coming around that corner and saw the car coming. So we ended up packing up. And, you know, I told my wife, I said, let's get the hell out of here. This place is, like, whacked. Some strange things are happening. So we get out. We go to the main hall. And then we start seeing these, the maids. You know, like, I think it was like 8, 9 o'clock when we were leaving. And the maids, and all of a sudden, as we were walking out, I hear this strange, like, kids' music blaring from one of the maids' carts. I look at my wife, and what the hell is that? And it's Dora the Explorer. So if you know what that is, you know, if you have kids or anything, that's the chick that, you know, sings that, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map! That song, that intelligent song there. Well, anyway, it's blaring out, and I'm like, what the hell are these guys listening to? So it's like, my wife, where the hell are we? And she just laughed at me. She's like, no, man, one of their, she's got one of her kids. So I looked around, and one of the, you know, like a little 4 or 5-year-old girl was sitting there jamming out to Dora the Explorer. So we got the hell out of there. Ended up going to Custom Dynamics headquarters. So where we stayed was about a half hour away from, I think it's Youngsville, North Carolina, where Custom Dynamics headquarters is. And a couple days before, I reached out and talked to Erin there, and I told her I was going to be stopping by. And so if you want to see that, I did a whole video on that entire walk around. The place is amazing. So check out the link above, and that will take you to the video, and I'll put it in the description too, of Custom Dynamics. So after we left there, it was about noon, and we had about, I'd say, 4.5, 5-hour trip from the Custom Dynamics to where we were staying that night. I was like, okay, this is not too bad. Now, a little about my wife. Now, remember, we should be getting in about 5 o'clock, 4:30 with stops, maybe 5:30. A little bit about my wife. She loves to shop. So as we were going down, she asked this simple request and said, hey, do you mind if we just stop at a couple Dollar Generals? I need to find, like, she was looking for some like holiday decor or something that wanted specifically from Dollar General. I guess the one by me, they didn't have it, so she wanted to check on every freaking Dollar General in the entire state of North Carolina, which we ended up doing. We almost stopped almost 4 or 5 times just on the way down to the place we were staying at, and Cashiers. So we'd go in, I'd wait about 15 minutes, she'd come out, make the wife happy, right? So literally 4 to 5 times we stopped at every Dollar General. And if you know anything about these dollar stores, they're everywhere in North Carolina. They're everywhere in every state. But it seems like there was a ton. So I intentionally, as I was driving, I'm like, oh, damn it, I missed that one. Oh, I missed that one. We'll get the next one, honey. We'll get the next one. But that only worked for a little bit. So I ended up stopping at those. We didn't get into Cashiers until almost 8 o'clock that night. That's how long it took, just with all those damn stops. And one thing, and I was telling you earlier how awesome the riding is out there on the roads. Now, if you're familiar with the area, that is about an hour and a half from Deals Gap, you know, Tail of the Dragon, Charahola, all those areas out there which have incredible riding. Maggie Valley, which is Wheels Through Time, the Asheville area. I've rode there a couple of years ago with a lot of the guys on YouTube. Incredible week. This is about an hour and a half south of there. It's probably about, I'd say, 20 miles from the Georgia border, right in the corner, like at southwest North Carolina. And the roads are just as incredible down there as they are in, you know, the Smokies. And this is right on the southern Appalachians. So I was like, damn it, I wish I had my bike. But saying that, when we arrived, it was night. So by the time we got there, so it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock. and it was nighttime. You know, it's like the sun went down around 6:30. And there is absolutely zero lights the last 10 to 15 miles before you get into this town. And it's all curvy roads. So it's pitch black at night. We're going around these curves at like 20 miles an hour, hardly any signs whatsoever. And so I thought I was going to die before we even got to our destination. Wife's not the best driver at night. Neither am I, for that matter, but still. Wouldn't recommend it if you were on a bike. Do it definitely during the daytime. So we finally get in. It's about 8 o'clock when we got in. And we decided to get something to eat. We went and got some pizza, incredible pizza. I don't remember the name of this place, but it was in the town we were staying in, Cashiers. Ate there. By the time we got done, we ended up getting to my folks' place. They were staying in some resort or something, and it was about 9:30. So remember, we left around 12. It was only going to take us 4.5, 5 hours to get there. We ended up getting there instead of 5:36. We ended up getting there at like 9. So a little bit of a delay due to the Dollar General and the slow road to get in there, because that last 15 miles seemed like it took almost 45 to get in. Get in, the place is amazing. You know, it's like a townhome. You know, it's like, you know, kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, everything. Extremely, extremely nice. So we ended up going in. What do you think the first thing I checked? The toilet paper. And that toilet paper, I don't know, it was like 10 ply. I was in heaven. No more hotel freaking 1-ply devil paper. Top notch. I didn't care about the rest of the place. I just wanted to be in comfort for the rest of the trip. This area we stayed in, I told you it was Cashiers, but they also have cities called Highlands, Sapphire, I don't remember all the other names. They're known for hiking, a lot of outdoorsy stuff, shopping, waterfalls, got a ton of waterfalls out there. And then obviously riding. So when we were out there, we saw a ton of riders, which was awesome to see. I was very jealous and envious because I couldn't be one of them. But nonetheless, I enjoyed spending time with the folks. So we ended up the first day going out and doing, obviously, the touristy stuff. We did all the shopping, went down to a couple small towns near there. And, you know, I've gotten so used to it over the years that my wife, she'll go into one shop and it'll take her almost an hour just to browse around, and she ends up maybe buying like one thing. So instead of going in and just hanging out with her and feeling like a idiot sitting in the corner, I just sat outside with my dad, and it was like a picture perfect thing, man, because we the two of us were just sitting on these little rocking chairs outside while my mom and my wife went shopping, and we were just catching up. It was really, really cool that you know, my dad and my folks, they live in Texas, so I only see him maybe once a year or maybe once every 2 years, so we don't get to see each other a ton. And he's up there in age, so it was great just catching up with him, talking about stuff, and that was probably one of my highlights of the entire trip, just hanging out with him and talking to him. And then, you know, another day, we did waterfalls.
It's about a half-mile hike to the bottom of this. This is called the Dry Falls, and this is in the Natahala, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, state park or forest, whatever, but really neat.
Like the road back to Asheville from Cashiers, again, it's probably like an hour and a half, but it's more like only 50 miles, but because of all the curves, it's really slow. You're running a 6% grade down this mountain. It's amazing how is this, but here's some pictures I took from it. Damn, I wanted to ride the bike. I'll tell you what, if I go down there again in that area, I'm probably going to take a detour and spend a day in that area because there were some amazing, amazing roads out there. So as we left that evening, even though it had rained, as you saw in that video, we drove about 4 hours, got near Wake Forest in North Carolina, the university, stopped at another highway hotel again, and I was praying that it wasn't the same experience that we had on the way coming down here. And good to know that it was no issues whatsoever. Probably because they didn't have the friggin' breakfast like the first one did. They just had a continental one. So it was just like cereal and yogurt and stuff. Can't go wrong with that. So I woke up at like 6 in the morning, and my wife's still asleep. Morning we were going to head back home to Maryland. And I said, I'm just going to go run up to the gas station, fill up the truck. And I go in there, and there was like 15 to 20 people. And they were all sitting around the coffee maker, or the coffee station, whatever you want to call it. And the gas station attendant, the girl or whatever, the cashier, she was shooting the shit with all of them, calling them by name and all this stuff. And I just came in, tipped my cap because I had my cap on, and said, howdy. And they just stopped and they just looked at me. I'm dead serious. It was like silence for a second. And these guys were talking their ass off before I even got in there, before I got by them. And I just want some coffee. I just need to get some gas station coffee and I'll be on my way. Couldn't believe it. I mean, it was totally bizarre that they just shut the hell up. So I don't know what it is with some of these small towns in North Carolina. I don't know if they don't like outsiders, because I'm a pretty friendly guy. So I got the hell out of there, went back, woke up my wife probably about 7 and said, let's get the hell out of this place. So we ended up going home, and by the time we got home, it was 3 o'clock. So we should have gotten home at 12, and why do you think that it took longer? Yep, Dollar General again. And here's the thing, we never found that damn holiday decor. So of all those Dollar Generals that we passed, we hardly spent any money in any of them. Well, she didn't. And we didn't find the one damn piece. But I tell you what, though, it was a great week. It was a good week, and I was telling you, on a tale of 2 weeks, this one was good. I got to spend time with my wife. I got to spend time with my mom and dad. Beautiful country, nice people, with the exception of the evil hotels and the evil toilet paper. It was a solid trip, and I'm so glad we did it. So, in the future, I'm going to come up with a tale of 2 weeks, the bad, more the sad than anything. And I'm going to tell you guys about that week. It's not as fun as this week, but it's still, I just like sharing stuff with you guys. Now get out there and ride. Be well, and I'll talk to you guys soon.